Arctic Cat number 3, Dave driving with a split thumb that he suffered at Eldora a couple of weeks ago, and a burned right foot. Oh, there's a spin right in the middle of the racetrack. A car upside down, and that is the number 44 of Ed Carpenter.
Man,
there's never an easy over accident, but that wreck was somewhat cushioned despite all the damage to the front of that race car as Ed quickly jumps out. The 98 car also involved in that. That's Kevin Feeney.
Yeah, Kevin Feeney.
And there's the 69 of Tracy Hines.
Yeah, Tracy Hines is involved and Jessup is involved. So 4 cars all involved in this. It doesn't appear that Tracy Hines has a lot of damage. Of course, Ed Carpenter's car damaged much worse than anybody else's. He got upside down into the fence. You can see the nose of the car, the axle all torn up. And he's probably very disgusted right now.
Well, that's an understatement. The frustration on the 21-year-old Butler University student majoring in marketing. But right now, he's just thinking in terms of what could have been. You see Brian Gerster down there. We'll get down to Brian momentarily. Let Ed cool off just a moment and collect his thoughts. But that was an upside-down ride. And let's take a look again at several different angles.
Well, I don't think there was anything that Ed could do. He just came off there. You see right here, there was contact between Jessup and Feeney. Feeney turned around, and then he actually Carpenter ran over Hines and up into the fence. And you can see a lot of damage to the front of that car. That's probably not going to be repairable here tonight.
Well, let's take a look at the second angle, Larry. You see the contact right there.
Feeney came down, and when he came down, Hines got off of the throttle, and Carpenter just didn't see it in time. It all happened so quick. Believe me, everything here happens extremely quick, and you just can't miss something like that.
On board, listen. See, very light contact with the 69 car coming right at you, and extensive damage to the Menard number 44. But all the drivers climbed out. They're uninjured. Brian, you have Ed.
Ed, you look like you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, this Simpson helmet made to save my life. I mean, it looks like I hit the wall or something with it, but I mean, it's just it's ridiculous. I mean, there's 17 cars here tonight. We're all going to make the race. And both heats, guys are, I'm not going to name any names, but people are driving like idiots. Everyone's going to make the show. I'm just glad everyone's okay. And I don't know, glad I'm okay and can go to Kansas City tomorrow and run the Infinity Pro Series.
Well, since you mentioned Kansas City, can you give us just a little update how things go for you out there today?
We ended up 4th overall in practice today, so only running half day's practice. I'm pretty happy with that. And hopefully this weekend we can get Menards and Johns Manville a good run out there in the inaugural event in the Infinity Pro Series.
All right, well, we're glad to see you're all right, and good luck out there. Folks, if you look at Ed's helmet right here, it's hit on something, maybe the wall. There's even some paint up here on his forehead, so this is a lucky guy right here.
Well, as you indicated before, things happen fast at this racetrack, and you certainly can be at the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Well, and it happens so quick. You're never going to miss an accident like that when it happens so quickly. And you can see Ed did get into that fence pretty hard. That is a wheel fence there that's designed to keep the cars, when they get above the wall, out of or on the racetrack. That fence did exactly what it was supposed to do. It caught that car when it was up in the air, and it threw it back onto the racetrack. Now they're going to have to repair that fence, get the cabling and fencing back up there, so that if there's another accident in that particular place, that it will hold the race car in the racetrack too.
Well, you can see the extensive damage to the front of the Menards number 44s. It's on the hook, and does not look like they'll try to make any repairs to that car. So Ed Carpenter can take an earlier flight. They'll drive back to Indianapolis and take his dad's plane back to Kansas for the inaugural run of the Infinity Pro Series. So as they repair the fence and get the cars off the track, we'll take this break and come back with more from Winchester. But realistically, we can't make a comparison here because the styrofoam would not be at this part of the racetrack.
Now, this part of the racetrack is too far off the corner. They were very close, and these guys are rapidly trying to make some repair to that fence so we can get back to racing.
And this is why they're making the repair. This was coming off the corner in that second heat race. And watch the blue and yellow right there, number 44. That's Ed Carpenter making contact, ripping out the fencing. But fortunately, the roll cage did its job. No injuries. That car is back on the hauler and will be sent back to Indianapolis for for repairs.
You can see the 98 car of Kevin Feeney came down. He hit Jessup, and the cars behind him, which Carpenter was one of, trying to miss that accident, got together. And boy, you can see that the roll cage did its job there and even bent that down too.
Now you're on 44 with Hines. Listen. Hear the tire squeal, some very light contact inside wall for Hines in the Kroger car as the crew is still working on the catch fence and those uprights, so we're still some time away from racing, but let's visit with the Hoffman crew and Tracy Hines. Brian?
We're here with Richard Hoffman, the owner of the Kroger car. You guys kind of got tangled up there. Are you guys going to be okay? Is there anything broken?
We haven't found anything broken. We hit with the left front to the inside retaining wall. Can't find anything there. Guys are checking the car over. I think we got a bent bumper out of it, and I think that's about the extent of the damage.
Well, that's good. Hopefully the car's all right. Let's get in here and see what Tracy's perspective on what happened. Tracy, you're back there trying to just get transferred in this thing. There's not that many cars here, and then big ruckus in front of you. What happened?
Well, first of all, I know the brakes work, Brian. They work pretty good right now. Yeah, the 98 and the 14J, they look like they wanted the same spot, and they kind of met in the middle to talk about it. And I saw it happen. I saw the 98 start to spin, so I got off the brakes, and I felt somebody hit me in the rear and another one jump over. So Kroger car's in good shape. Sorry about the guys that got crashed, but, you know, hopefully the 14J and the 98 will talk about it if they restart, and maybe that won't happen again.
Well, there you go, folks. Your points leader. They think they're going to be okay, and hopefully we can keep the Kroger car out there because definitely one of the nice-looking cars here at the race tonight.
Well, they're welding the uprights, reattaching the fence. I think we've only lost one car from that melee, and that, of course, was the 44 Menards car, which is now on the trailer and headed back to Indianapolis.
Yeah, that was a hard hit. The reason they're welding is because it actually broke those big steel tubes. So those guys happened to weld all that back. They had to put up fencing, and they also had to replace some of the cabling. The cabling did its job and held, but they put in some new cabling just to make sure that there's not going to be any problems.
Well, this has been a very lengthy delay here this evening. We had hoped to have some early fireworks for the youngsters, and unfortunately, the youngsters are going to stay up past their bedtime just so they can watch the feature.